To be totally honest with you, I wish I did not have to make these videos. I really wish I could just go and live my life peacefully, but whenever I see information like this, it makes my head go crazy. In the last 150 years, Canada had a lot of prime ministers, and I mean a lot, and they all came and they all did something to move Canada forward. And I'm not going to say that all of them did a fantastic job, but we got to where we are today, where Canada has a great reputation around the world. But slowly that reputation is starting to go down. Now, ignoring reputation, let me tell you exactly what is going on with Canada's finances, because if you have a friend or a cousin or a mother or father who's really in debt, you would try to give them advice. And unfortunately, that person that you just thought of right now is actually our country. And the reason why I mentioned all these prime ministers for the last 150 years is because our new prime minister has taken all of the debt accumulated in the last 150 years and doubled it. In 2008, you can clearly see the debt was $1.177 trillion. Still really terrible, but not as terrible as it is today at $2.179 trillion. And a lot of people might think, oh, this is not a big deal, we'll just pay it off. Yeah, it's not that easy to pay off when your GDP is not that massive, okay? Our GDP is roughly $2 trillion and our debt is now $2 trillion. Do the math, that is not a good ratio. Now, to go a step further, when you get a debt, your credit card, let's say you have debt on your credit card, you owe money or you take a loan from someone, what happens? Oh, there's interest. Don't think that this money, this debt is interest free. No, there are payments that have to be made to have this debt. Even though you do pay it off, you're not paying it all off and you're paying interest. The cost of borrowing to fund public services, programs, and investments will result in a staggering $81.8 billion in debt servicing costs, according to new analysts from the Fraser Institute. And if you look at this chart right here, it says interest on government debt will cost each Canadian more than $1,750 this year. And they even show you each province and how much debt they're roughly paying. Isn't that pretty crazy? And you might be thinking, how am I paying for this debt? And I'm saying I'm you. I don't even live in Canada anymore. I am not a resident in Canada anymore. I don't suggest you to be one anyway. But if you're still living in Canada, how are you paying for this? Well, it's pretty simple. You're paying for this through your taxes. So every time you go to the store and you buy an item, those taxes, that sales tax that you pay isn't going to fix your roads. It's not going to the military. It's not going for social services. Sometimes it's going straight to debt servicing. And to be honest, all this could have been avoided if you did not vote for Justin Trudeau. Not to bash him, he has done some good things as well, but many bad things. And to be honest, he is one of the reasons why I actually left Canada. And if you're a Canadian who grew up in Canada, it's very clear that there has been a huge shift and huge decline in the last 10 years. Like, it's really sad to say, but if you think of Canada 15 years ago, 20 years ago, it was a lot better. And it's really sad to say. I wish I didn't have to make this video, but it's just gone downhill. I used to be extremely patriotic, love my country, love everything about Canada, but now it's really hard to back up. It's expensive to live here. The quality of life is not worth it for the price you're paying. Of course, you can have a good quality of life if you spend a lot of money, which most people don't have. Why? Because taxes are really high. I hear people telling me all the time, oh, I don't want to work overtime because I'm just going to get taxed at the highest tax bracket. I'm going to get destroyed in taxes. Or, oh, I don't want to start a new business because it's too risky because the taxes, or because it's too expensive to employ people. Inflation has raised the price of goods way too much. And I will say Canada has done a good job in battling inflation, but overall, it just hasn't been a good time. So what's the solution? Hopefully the Conservative Party can do a better job. I am very confident that they will get elected. This is how usually things go. It goes one side to another. It's, always like swinging back and forth. And hopefully they can do a good job in actually balancing the budget and sticking to their word and putting forward a common sense plan. But you never know what's going to happen until it actually happens. And if you want to know what will happen, then subscribe to this channel, hit the button down below. I will post many more videos like this. And I'm sure if you watch to the end of the video, this definitely interests you. And I do appreciate you watching until the very end. And I will see you all in the next video.